All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring the tiny building blocks of your body, all 30 trillion of them to be exact, and looking at how they actually connect to your deepest spiritual well-being. We are literally bridging the gap between the microscope and the soul here. It's so fascinating because the physical structures keeping you alive right now actually offer this profound, beautiful lesson on how to live a truly good and meaningful life. So, I really want you to think about this question as we zoom all the way down to the microscopic level of your own body. We walk around every single day thinking of ourselves as just one big single organism, right? But you're actually made up of trillions of tiny living units called cells. And the wild thing is, when those microscopic units get damaged or diseased, your entire body suffers the consequences. Take a look at this. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. This verse perfectly captures our core theme today, that inseparable, vital link between your physical cellular health and your spiritual joy. It's amazing that ancient wisdom, like this proverb, hit the nail on the head long before modern microscopes were even invented. They knew that when your emotional or spiritual state is out of whack, your physical health can absolutely tank right along with it. Section 1. What keeps cells healthy? Okay, so to really understand disease, we first need to know what health actually looks like at the most basic level. I want you to picture your cells as a massive, bustling, 24/7 factory that is constantly working to keep you alive. They're processing nutrients, creating energy, building proteins, clearing out the trash, you name it. Basically, when they thrive, you thrive. These healthy cells are the faithful, hardworking foundation that literally makes your existence possible. Section 2. How cells get sick. Because, let's be honest, despite how incredibly well-designed our cells are, things can, and do, go wrong. And when disease strikes, it almost always starts right there at the cellular level. Whether we're talking about outside toxins, poor nutrition, or just internal errors, cellular disease usually falls into one of three major buckets. You've got cancer, viral infections, and genetic disorders. So let's break these down one by one and really understand the mechanics of how our bodies get sick. Let's start with cancer. The absolute craziest thing about cancer is that it's essentially a cellular rebellion. Think about it. In a normal, healthy body, your cells know exactly when to divide and exactly when to hit the brakes. But cancer cells? They completely ignore those stop signs. They just keep multiplying and multiplying, totally out of control. If you put them side by side, it's really clear. A healthy cell behaves like a model citizen. It does its job, it takes up only the space it actually needs, and it stops growing when it's told to. A cancer cell, on the flip side, recklessly divides and forms tumors. Those tumors eventually crowd out the good cells and damage the nearby tissue. It's essentially a total breakdown of order. Now, unlike cancer, which is basically an inside job, a virus, like the flu or COVID-19, is strictly an outside invader looking to hijack your cellular machinery. A virus actually can't reproduce on its own, so it literally has to break into your healthy cells just to survive. It's a step-by-step sneak attack. And honestly, it's devastatingly simple. First off, it breaches the cell wall. Next thing you know, it completely takes over the cell's internal factory, hijacking the whole operation. And finally, it forces your own factory to stop doing its normal, healthy job and instead churn out thousands of copies of the virus. That whole destructive process, that's exactly why you get those awful symptoms like fever, aches, and fatigue. Then we have our third category, genetic disorders. Here, there's no invader and there's no rebellion. It's literally just a typo in your body's instruction manual. Take cystic fibrosis, for example. Just a single, tiny mutation in one gene totally changes how cells manage salt. One malfunctioning part at the cellular level leads to thick mucus building up in the lungs. It just goes to show you how incredibly precise our cellular machinery needs to be to function properly. Section 3. Defending and repairing cells. Now, take a deep breath, because you are definitely not left defenseless here. God designed an absolutely phenomenal system to fight back against these microscopic threats. Your body has its own built-in security guards. You've got an immune system actively hunting down viruses and repair enzymes that are constantly fixing damaged DNA behind the scenes. And hey, when the body's natural defenses need a boost, human science is always stepping up with amazing treatments. Everything from chemotherapy for cancer to cutting-edge gene therapy for genetic disorders. Seeing all this complexity really should inspire some immense gratitude for how brilliantly the human body is put together. Section 4. physical and spiritual health. So learning all this cellular biology is a fantastic way to take charge of your physical body, but it actually points us to a much deeper spiritual mirror. Because those exact same principles that keep your body healthy apply perfectly to your mind and your spirit. It's really the core philosophy behind the Heroesmart Academy Godly Learners series. Education without morality will ultimately hurt you. I mean, think about it. What is the point of being super smart and knowing every detail about how cells work if we just keep making bad moral or physical choices that destroy us? True education has to go hand in hand with biblical morality to truly protect you. Just like we actively try to protect our physical cells from toxins and junk food, we absolutely must guard our spiritual health against neglect and harmful influences with that exact same energy. Bad habits and toxic environments damage your spirit in the exact same way that physical toxins damage your cells. You've got to be fiercely proactive about what you're letting into your mind and your heart. Look at this powerful promise from the book of Romans. To set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the spirit is life and peace. That holds just as true today as it did back then. Keeping your focus grounded on spiritual things, on morality, goodness, and God's design, brings this profound, lasting peace of mind. It's essentially the spiritual equivalent of a perfectly functioning, incredibly healthy cell. So here is your ultimate takeaway for today. Choose habits that actually build life. God calls us to be faithful stewards, right? That means taking meticulous care of the amazing cellular machinery you've been given, but it also means rigorously protecting your mind and your spirit. We need to honor God's masterpiece of a design in every single facet of who we are. I want to leave you with this to really chew on today. Every single day, you are making choices about what you eat, what you watch, and what you focus your thoughts on. True health, it means making incredibly wise choices for both the microscope and the soul. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really challenge you to step out today and make choices that bring life and peace to your whole self. See you next time.